Excellent, excellent. Right, we good for sound? Yeah. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is my absolute pleasure to present to you Pete Doherty. He's just headlined on the Festival Republic stage. Pete, how did it go?
I don't know really how to work it out. I feel a bit lousy myself, but people whose opinion I trust said it was alright, and it was alright.
Yeah, it was from where we were. It was absolutely wonderful. Everyone was blown away. It was pretty crazy in there. First thing, I have to mention you covered a song by Amy Winehouse. How does it feel to cover My Tears Dry on Their Own? Now you did it here, you did it at Leeds. What was the sort of thinking behind that particular song?
A couple of years ago, when she first released it, there was an idea kicked about that I was going to do an alternate version. I was going to write some verses for it, and I did actually write some verses and record them. But in the end, neither Amy nor the record company nor no one seemed to like it, so it sort of disappeared into the ether and never got. I don't even know what happened to it. I don't know if there's a copy knocking about, but I've always loved that song. It's like an amazing tune. I don't know. Just I wanted to do some tribute. That's it really. Just
Excellent stuff. So more than anyone I can really get into my head at all, of this generation, the youth just really seem to have some sort of affinity with your lyrics. They really seem to identify with it more than any other artist. I mean, what is it about your music in particular that you think provokes that kind of reaction?
I don't know, like you said, really. I think it's just lyrics. People identify with certain lyrics. I don't know, a certain. I don't know. I suppose you said youth. It maybe people of a certain age. You have that verve and that lust for life where you want to dance and you want to sing, but at the same time there's a deep hopelessness, Yeah. And I don't know, anger and confusion. Maybe they see that. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, one of the most iconic Libertines tracks, "Time for Heroes." In the opening line, and the song as a whole is a reference to the May Day riots. What do you think about the more recent riots that happened in London and across the UK?
When they were kicking off and it was all on the news, I sent a text to Carl saying, "Did you see the ... question mark?" And he texted back saying, "Well, from what I saw outside Foot Locker, they weren't very stylish." So,
well,
yeah.
There you go. That's a good spin on it. But I mean, what do what do you think? Perhaps is there something sort of different to the way the youth approach things now, as perhaps as opposed to when you were writing the song about?
Yeah, it's a completely different thing. That was the thing that's just happened. It was almost like a magnified version of the things you see like every Saturday night.
Yeah.
In Hackney or Thursday night or Tuesday morning. Just wild kids, just lashing out.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like the people when they were ransacking shops in Salford. There's nothing to steal in Salford. People talking about looting, but there's only a few of the areas where there's actually anything to steal. It was just pure fucking anger. You say you got like politicians who are like filling their expenses, behind closed doors and on account sheets, and then you got kids who in broad daylight, just fighting the police and attacking shops and.
So there's always.
You know what I mean? It's true.
You alright? Do you want to pause for a bit? Or?
It's just the whole system is just completely corrupt right the way through.
Yeah.
The youngsters right the way through to the people that are supposed to be our leaders. Because we do live in a material world and we have it dangled in front of us all the time. What got me was the people getting into Labrooks and into bookmakers, right? Leaping up on the walls and trying to rip off the LCDs and the screen. It's insane. It's not that it's not on. It's just that it's almost like the perfect reaction to like the consumer society we live in. It's like they've been asking for it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, things are dangled in front of kids' faces, and you know they're never going to be able to afford this.
There was a guy here who lives in Chalk Farm, and he was stood on his doorstep, and it was all kicking off a couple of weeks ago. And 4 black kids, like 14, 15 years old, like they ran up to him, and they seen that the door was open, and there was all sirens from around the corner. They went, Mister, we've got caught up in the riots. Can you protect us? Can you look after us?
Yeah.
So he said, yeah, come in. So they've gone in, they've sat on the sofa, and they've just started pulling out loads of jeans from the backpack. And go, well, what size did you get? What size did you get? You know, there was that side of it, just like kids just getting excited, and it is dead easy to get caught up in that kind of thing. But it's terrifying though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I got this tag thing where I come out of prison, but I had to stay on a curfew, so I wasn't allowed outside my front door.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all down Camden High Street, where I'm staying, it was just like police vans and people running around and baseball bats and masks, and just like sticking my head out, like, what the fuck is going on? You know? He's like singing about riots and like pontificate about riots. When you actually see it, and you feel that energy. It's a dark force, you know, dark, destructive force. Did you see the footage of the kid who got mugged?
Yeah, when he was
Properly
mugged.
mugged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like sneaky little hand going into his backpack, and then that guy who's like walking off like he was so big, like he just, I don't know, won a kung fu fight. But what's he done? He's mugged some kid with bloody nose.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
if you're watching this, by the way, from the imprisoned man.
Wonderful stuff. But moving on, you know, back into music. I mean, I think there's a lot said at the moment about obviously electronic music is kind of sort of at the fore, and it feels, you know, to some that guitar music has sort of been pushed to the back, and the future of British guitar music perhaps, you know, maybe hanging in the balance. I mean, how do you feel about the current state of British bands?
I think people like to dance, don't they? You
Yeah.
know? People have always liked to dance, and in the 60s, before we had beatboxes and computers and the electronic music as we know it today, guitar music was the predominant music people would dance to, and they go out. Nowadays, it's not. You don't have live bands in clubs.
Yeah.
You don't have live bands in nightclubs, but that's the culture of the area that I came from, playing live, knowing how to play songs, getting up and being part of a band. That was always how we did it. Occasionally I'd go out with different sorts of mates who didn't have silly hair, and they'd be dancing all night to different sort of records. But that the generations like that just before me and my generation and everything that's come since, they go out and they have their music that they have a good time to is electronic music.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much I think it's a culture that's all but disappeared. It definitely in the mainstream. It's always going to be there. You know, people always like enjoy playing them, but it's just I don't know. But then you get different movements starting up, or more specifically, bands which capture people's imagination. You know, with songs like lyrics and beautiful songs like the Roses. And they got people dancing as well.
Absolutely.
Oasis didn't really get people dancing, but they got people like going to gigs and getting excited by songs again. And then the Strokes, I suppose, was the next thing after that. They got people like coming, getting into live music again.
And the Libertines, of course.
It was always our dream, right back in the day when we started out, was just to be playing as a band, making music, and people getting off to us, dancing to us, fighting to us, anything, just for us to be there, playing our part, making the music. And then it all went, and came out from a different angle really, when we decided we could make a mark in the industry, if you like, on the back of someone else's idea, and speeding up our music and looking like the Strokes. But we always wanted to be a nightclub band, something people to dance to. I suppose people like the Rapture, in a way, they've kept guitars, haven't they? I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can dance to them. I can't really dance anyway.
Do you think that's an Englishman's thing, not being able to dance?
How dare you?
I know you're very patriotic, but perhaps in the modern day, back in the day, they knew how to do it, didn't they?
Yeah, no. I'd love to have a waltz and all that, but...
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, right, last question, because we've got to wrap it up. One thing I've always wondered, okay, and it's a bit of a sort of weird one, but In
A few festivals this summer. Is that all from this summer?
no, there's a couple from last year, but
Is that O2?
that's Benicassim. Oh yeah, this one's
yeah,
this one's
Benicassim.
Wireless Saturday.
Is there
That was
there's
on
no
the right.
Benicassim this year?
Yeah, it was on.
Was it?
Yeah, they had Primal Scream, Arctic Monkeys, Strokes.
Did you see Primal Scream?
I didn't go. This was last year's one. This one, because my mate's band were playing actually, but like on one of the littler stages. But yeah, we drove down. It was fucking mental, all the way down through France and Spain.
Oh really?
Yeah, no, it was great. But yeah, no. So anyway, one of the most iconic Libertines tracks, "Don't Look Back into the Sun." One thing that I've always wondered, right? You talk about a song at Death Disco that started fast and ended slow. Which song was it?
Play that song at the Death Disco. It starts so fast, but it ends so slow. I think I can tell you the answer to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to really.
Okay.
It's a bit silly. It was just when Carl did this bit of DJing and he put the record on at the wrong speed.
Okay.
And he really didn't realise it was the wrong speed.
Yeah.
It was Blue Monday
Okay.
by New Order.
Yeah.
And he didn't realise it was the wrong speed until the vocals came in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then he put it onto the on the other speed.
And everyone was like,
Yeah.
oh, wonderful stuff. Okay, well, Pete.
You know, because everyone was going like that. What a fucking one, and he
Oh,
thought,
really?
he thought they were like having it, you know, because
Yeah.
all going, he's going, yeah, that was nuts.
Wonderful. Anyway, Pete, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you for blagsound.com, but we're going to have to wrap it up there. But thank you so much.
And 5 minutes, you got 3 times.